You're listening to Podcast PXN,
a video game podcast,
delivering a player experience news.
Let's go! What is up, guys, and welcome to Podcast PXN, episode 279. I am one of your hosts, Daniel Prindle, aka Dan is DTM on Twitter, and I am joined over Discord by the Nintendo aficionado and hardcore casual himself, artist extraordinaire, Roshan Warner at Roro.
Hello. I'm happy to be back.
Hello. It's good to have
This
you.
is literally the first time you've called him that since he asked for it a couple weeks ago.
Living up to the name.
Yeah. Hardcore casual. Good to have you back, Ro.
Thank you.
The host of Large Popcorn and video producer at The Gamer, Christian Macias at ISO Christian, the legend himself, who sent all these nice gifts for my birthday. Thank you.
Happy birthday, Dan.
Thank you. And the reformed Tarkov Teletubby and my fellow Spartan, Gage Dempster at Gilbo Biggin.
reporting for duty. On the day of your birth, I will always be at your side.
Okay. Well, wait a minute. The day of my birth, that would have been 33 years ago.
51 years ago.
Oh, come on.
A little pre-show callback for you.
Incredible. Thank you. I said incredible, and the first thing that pops in my head is fucking Garrett Willis's picture of me that says incredible.
That was mine.
That was yours?
That was
mine. Oh my god.
Might be my favorite picture in all of Champed Up, by the way. That was incredible.
There was to be fair, there was like 7 different people that did fucking iterations of Charles or myself. So it's like I was like, I don't know who did what.
Let's see if I can. I drew Dan in a game of Jackbox, and the thing says incredible. He's wearing his little Colts headband.
Yeah, it's uncanny. The resemblance.
I drew a lot of stuff I can't show.
Yeah,
that one shit. I can.
Maybe one day Ro will join us for game night.
Can I show one more thing real quick? This isn't like bad, or it's not NSFW if you're wondering. But Gage and I were playing Battlefield 4 the other night. Spoilers, I guess, for what you got for me. And you can do custom emblems in that game, and this was crazy.
Oh my gosh!
Did you just say it's not NSFW, and then you showed that?
Yeah. There's no actual bits in there that you can.
There's no detailed anatomy.
Listen, we stopped being a family show about 3 or 4 years ago. I think we're fine. I think we're
2 or 3 episodes after I joined.
All right. Well, thank you to everyone watching us live and participating in the chat. Just as a reminder, we are live each and every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on youtube.com/@podcastpxn and twitch.tv/podcastpxn as well. Thank you to Kirik in the chat already. The topic of the show this week is our PlayStation State of Play announcements and our reactions to them from today, fresh off the press. So let's go ahead and jump right into it right now. The announcements. Here we go. Was this part of the announcement? I saw you type this.
Oh, okay.
I have it further down here. I didn't know it was part of it.
Oh, I didn't see it in the quick bites, but I figured this would come into play with a specific game that was announced.
Okay. Yeah, we could put it in there. That's fine.
And if I may, before we jump right into announcements, can I ask, did any of us watch this live?
No, I didn't.
No.
Nobody watched the State of Play?
Wait,
I watched it, just not live.
I did watch it, but I was kind of also working on the thumbnail, so.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
It's live.
Okay, I was wondering. I was wondering what you guys' thoughts were on the show if you had seen it before we jumped in, because I feel like from what I've seen online, from what I've heard, the rhetoric around I guess the general audience, gaming audience, it seems like they were a bit more down on it. but I've seen some people in the industry say that it was kind of a good show. So I'm wondering, like, if any of you guys had seen it, where you would fall on it. You know what I mean?
I thought you were saying there was a game in the show called Slive. You're talking about the overall show. How was it? Okay, I was.
Yeah, that's all right.
I was.
Did any of you see
confused.
it live? I may have slurred my words a little bit trying to get that out. So yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, sorry. My bad. Yes, I was watching while doing the thumbnail, and I thought there was some good announcements, but also a lot of 2026 or not announcements. Sorry, some good updates. I will say, but there was a lot of 2026 stuff, not a lot of 2025 PlayStation exclusives. I guess.
Which makes sense. It's a partnership state of play, which I
Right.
wouldn't expect a lot of first party stuff. But I think I'm going to join the crowd that was a bit more down on it. There's good stuff in there. Some stuff that I'm actually really excited about, but I think largely I was kind of blasé about a lot of the stuff that we've seen before. Specifically, like, yeah, I'm already excited for Monster Hunter. And I've already seen plenty of Split Fiction. I don't need to see another lengthy trailer of that again. But I think even the exciting stuff that they did show off, specifically the big announcement at the end, which I'm going to save for when we get to the actual show, I felt like it was cool, but I only popped for it because of who's working on it and not because of anything they showed. The previous game they showed, when it was first revealed, they had like teaser kind of CGI video, but also snippets of gameplay, and that got me excited, and that wasn't felt here. So I'm kind of, I thought this was a kind of a weaker state of play in my opinion, but we will discuss with the announcements, I suppose, how we feel.
Absolutely. All right. I believe this all goes in order. I found an article real quick from Polygon. Not the best source, but I'm not shitting on Polygon, but I think this is in order, so we're gonna go through it here in order. The first one was Monster Hunter Wilds, as Christian alluded to there. Capcom debuted a brand new trailer showing off a returning legacy monster called Mitsutsune. I butchered that, I'm sure. Mitsune? I don't know.
I think it's Mitsune.
Okay.
Mitsune? Not sure.
I trust you much more than I trust myself. So. Yes, and it will be released February 28th, a couple weeks away. Looking good.
Yeah, I'm stoked, but I've been excited. I'm stoked because it'll be fun to play with that with, I think, any friends that also get it and kind of, be one of those kinds of games.
Definitely. I'm with Christian. I don't need to see much more. I enjoyed Worlds a lot, so I'm excited for Wilds. It sold me already.
I'm not even a big Monster Hunter fan, but this did look awesome.
This looks cool, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Then we got a look at Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which will be releasing on August 28th, which is bringing back the Shinobi franchise.
And I can't lie, this one to me looked really, really good. I did think for a while it was like, oh, is this Ragebound, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound? Did I forget what that game looked like? And I was like, no, it's something else entirely. But I'm cool with that.
Yeah,
love the art style.
I love all these IPs that are making these cool like 2D stylistic games. It's very cool. And
is this how the original? Sorry, you said this is Shinobi. Like this is a franchise, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Are the other Shinobi games like this, or like Christian was saying, or like you were saying, sorry, Dan, that they're going into a different format?
It's a good question. I've never played the Shinobi games before.
Okay.
Neither have I.
Okay. I was wondering if this is like what they
is,
do, like side-scrolling stuff, or this is like a different for them.
So Shinobi is a series of hack and slash games, apparently.
Okay.
So
it is probably, well, at least the combat is similar, but maybe this is like a different perspective.
Yeah, seemingly, I would say so. Platform, or no, it says platformer, so no, maybe it is it's always been a platformer. Like I guess a hack and slash platformer.
Okay. I'm seeing a PlayStation 2 game and it looks like it's third person.
Oh.
But maybe they have other ones.
Oh, you're right. Yes. I was looking at the original one that came out for Commodore 64, apparently, way back.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a platformer.
Yeah, but there is,
cool.
yeah, that the one you're talking about, PlayStation 2, I see that as well. That's a 3D version, so they're kind of going back to their roots, I guess, on that.
Nice.
Very cool. And then Ro lost his shit here. I'm just kidding. But maybe you did lose your shit.
I did for a quick second for something specific in there.
We got an announcement, or not an announcement, but they showed Sonic Racing Cross Worlds with a brand new trailer and announced that a closed network test is set for February 21st, so a little over a week away.
Nice. I think me and Christian may have lost our minds for the same reason, but I guess we'll find out. But the the Sonic Riders hoverboards are included in the racing game, which is pretty sweet. But yeah.
My friend was asking me like what I think about the Sonic Racing games because they'd never played, and I was like, "Yeah, I don't. It's not as good as Mario Kart. They don't feel as good, and it's certainly not as good as Sonic Riders." And as I said that, like it showed him with the hoverboard. I was like, "Whoa, what the?" I lost it for a good second.
It's pretty exciting. I wonder how it probably just feel like a car, like how motorcycles feel like. They don't really feel that different. You could do different tricks, I guess, like in Mario Kart, like how there's the cars and there's the motorcycles. But I'm curious to see how they make the hoverboards feel different than the cars in this. Yeah, exciting stuff.
Interesting. Josh in the chat, happy B-Day, Dan. Thank you, Josh. Too kind. Keurig, not excited for Monster Hunter. I got Monster Hunter World for free when I bought a video card, and I never played it. I don't feel like I missed anything. Wow. I think we need a set.
Wrong words from Keurig.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck? Hey, this game I never played, I'm sure I didn't miss anything.
That sounds like me.
That's true.
That sounds like Christian energy. I don't know.
Sounds like me? What'd you say?
Sounds like hater. It sounds like hater boy energy sometimes.
Oh, that's true. I do that a lot, don't I?
Incredible. Then we got a look at Digimon Storytime Stranger, which is a new Digimon game coming and is taking players across worlds and time itself. It's coming in 2025. Digimon. We're back.
Insane name, by the way.
Time Stranger.
Digimon Story.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Time Stranger. All right. Then we got a look at Lost Soul Aside, which the only description here from Polygon is pre-orders for Lost Soul Aside opens on February 19th. Thank you, Polygon.
After 10 years, finally getting a release date is huge. They've been even showing this game off ever since they acquired it for their China Hero project. Very cool to have that splash screen pop up too, by the way, for them to showcase that during a state of play. Yeah, it looks great, but this is the one. This is why I said the thing underneath it, because it releases the same day as Elden Ring Night Rain, which is May 30th. So could be a potential problem for what's the developer making this game? It's one guy, but
good question.
Ulti Zero Games, I think. Could be a problem for them because Elden Ring comes out that day.
Mm-hmm.
And this game's been in the works for 10 years. Damn.
Just about, yeah.
That's crazy. Then we got to look at Sega's crazy franchise that they love to do wacky shit with. Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii. Another crazy name. But we got an announcement that a new demo of Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii will go live on Friday. Boom. Demos are back. Then we moved into Dave the Diver DLC, which gets its Ichiban's holiday DLC, bringing Yakuza into the game in April.
Yeah, that was. No, well, is that big? I don't know. It's unexpected for them to do a collaboration like that, but there's also another insane collaboration coming later in the show. But also, I guess Dave the Diver continues to be pretty successful and continue to do lots of cool collabs. Quite like another game that also got a collaboration announcement today that wasn't at the show. I don't know if you have it in the show, Dan, in the document. Did you see what Power Wash Simulator announced today?
I did not, no.
They have a collaboration with Wallace and Gromit. So,
oh shit!
You can clean his house if you so wish, which is I think pretty sick.
Insane. Wallace and Gromit, Power Wash Simulator. Those boys. All right. Then we got to look at WWE 2K25 introducing the Island. You guys ready to go to the Island?
There's something about the way you're saying this that makes me tense up. Yeah.
Have you guys seen? Please go ahead.
Like a social hub, right? Like
in 2K.
Yeah. Right.
Have you guys seen the 2005 Michael Bay movie starring Ewan McGregor and Scarlett Johansson?
The Island. Yeah.
The Island. Yeah, you've won a trip to the Island. That's what Dan reminded me of. Oh, you've seen it?
I saw it because it was like a class movie that we watched in business class for some reason.
Hell
I don't remember why,
Wow.
like what the correlation was, but yeah, I do remember that. Damn, what a movie!
Look at you go.
Incredible. This next game that we got a look at, we got a release date for Borderlands 4, which is releasing on September 22nd. This trailer definitely shows off vibes of a low 80 video game. for
Low 80
for
is
fantasy
generous.
critic. Hey, I'll take it.
More Borderlands. Whether you want it or not, it's coming.
Yeah.
When that trailer ended and Randy Pitchford and the under Randy had to like talk their game up, I thought it was so sad. I almost didn't believe them.
Did you like
hyping up their own game? I don't know.
Randy, every time he comes on, he's so fucking cringe. He'll say a word that he thinks he's being like hip and cool, and you're just like,
Right.
Hey, Randy, you're not fucking cool. You're not a fucking teenager, dude. You're a 60-year-old man almost.
Grown ass man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love when you call him Randy, dude.
Fucking Randy. Yeah. Wow, Kirik says Borderlands meh junk game. Wow. There you go.
He's in a hater mode today, huh?
He is. He's throwing all the punches.
He also never opened the Saran wrap for any of the Borderlands games.
Oh my god.
There's a new Saran wrap king.
Oh
No longer Dan.
Jesus.
It's Kirik.
Kirik, I'm sorry. Sorry that he's doing this to you. All right. Then we got a new look at Split Fiction with an official story trailer, which highlights our characters here. Looks good. I still get this weird. It's something about Hazelight's games that like their performance captures are almost like a little too like statuey. I don't know if it's purposeful in this game because of like them being in like a digital world or whatever, but like sometimes I watch their acting and I'm like, this is a little stiff for me, but I'm still very excited for the gameplay of this game. It looks like it's going to be pretty fun.
Oh, I see what you mean by statuey.
Yeah.
A little stiff with their animations. Yeah, I mean they're also like a smaller studio, I guess. It's an EA partnership, EA original game. You're right though, because I didn't notice it that much with It Takes Two, and that had a lot to do with like the art style they went for that game to do like little, yarn creatures or whatever it was. But when it's real people, you can kind of notice it. Yeah, I agree.
A part of me finds it kind of like I notice it too, but a part of me kind of likes it. Like it feels kind of charming in a way. I don't know why. Like how far video games have become with how realistic they have become. It's almost kind of nice to see this every once in a while because it doesn't look bad. It just looks not as realistic as the other games, but it still looks good at the same time. It's hard to explain, but I don't mind it at all.
Absolutely.
And more importantly, their games are fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're fun to play.
Yep.
True.
See if they can compete for that game of the year. All right.
I think they might.
You think so?
Heard here first.
It's a big year. Lots of big games this year.
That is very true. But I don't know, some of us Split Fiction. We'll talk.
Sure.
Maybe once the game releases.
All right. Then we move into the next game, which is Directive 8020, which is the story of brave astronauts of the Cassiopeia. Yeah, I don't know. That was butchered as well. I don't know how to say that. Who embark on a deadly mission to save humanity, but their ship is infected by an alien life form that perfectly imitates its prey. It will release on October 2nd. I believe this is part of the Dark Pictures anthology from Supermassive, which I know the other ones are kind of like mid games. This one fucking tricks me again and like gets me a little hyped up, even though it's all fucking CG for the most part, or it seems like it's CG, maybe an engine, I don't know. But I don't know. The story premise of this looks interesting to me. I don't know.
I'm there with you. But I also fall for the same trap where every single one of these that comes out, I'm like, oh, maybe like I know there was one that took place in like Egyptian tombs, and it was like during the war in Iraq, and I was like, oh, this looks really cool, and then it comes out and I don't play it and I forget about it. So this looks interesting. We'll see if it actually grabs me enough to play it.
Those Dark Picture games, not good. So I have zero faith in them. I have zero faith in them doing their take on the thing meets Alien, sort of. Right. I don't know. I'm sure the performances are fine, and I mean it visually looks really good, but other than that, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna write this one off unless I hear otherwise.
Yeah.
Sure.
Although, like if all of us one day decided like let's get blasted and play this game together, and we like yell at each other to make decisions or whatever, that I would do with the lads any day.
So. I will tell you, all of the Dark Pictures games, all in the low 70s on OpenCritic. You can get yourself one or two. You can get yourself 1 or 2 points in. All right. Moving on from there, of course, we got to get a new Five Nights at Freddy's game called Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic. And it is releasing on June 13th. This is creepy, though. Creepy little trailer. Animatronics. Yeah. All right. Then we got to look at The Midnight Walk, which is described as a handcrafted dark fantasy adventure and will be released on PlayStation 5 and PSVR 2 on May 8th. This is the Playmation type game, right?
No, I think stop motion is this game.
Which one was the one that they said they made from clay?
That does sound familiar. I don't know what game you're talking about though.
Okay. Well, never mind.
I'm curious about this one. It looks very early 2000s Tim Burton-y. Reminds me of that kind of aesthetics. But that's about it for me. That's my take, because I also don't know what like really like the game is. I suppose. I did mark it down in my iOS cloud notes of games to keep a track of in 2025 because I want to know more about it when it gets closer to launch.
Very interesting. All right. Darwin's Paradox is the next one we got to look at. Help Darwin the octopus escape a food factory and get back to the ocean in Darwin's Paradox, which was debuted here. Interesting.
Published by Konami. They don't do a lot of games, but they'll do this one.
Yep. This is a sequel to Octopath Traveler. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke because octopus. That was a terrible joke.
I mean, I guess when there's 2 octopus games.
Wait, Octopath Travelers. What?
It's not about an octopus.
No, that's what I thought. That's why I was confused for a second.
Is that not what you said, Octodad?
No, that is. No, I did say Octopath Traveler just as a joke. Octodad would have been a better reference, but I was.
That is what I thought you said. Was Octodad?
Oh no, I didn't. Sorry, I was making a dumb joke. But all right, moving on. Warriors Abyss drops today on PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. We got a trailer for it here. Not my type of game. Lots of battle styles, though. 16 billion.
Please move on.
Sorry. Onimusha 2 Samurai's Destiny will be released on May 23rd, and it returns with higher resolution graphics and modernized controls to perform Isen critical counterattacks and intense swordplay.
That's a cool remaster to announce. Methinks.
Cool. Very cool. Right on the heels of Ninja Gaiden 2 Black 2. I don't know which order that goes in. 2 Black 2. Whatever.
It's 2 Black is the new one.
Okay. And then we got to look at the new Onimusha game, Way of the Sword, which is getting well, this wasn't its first trailer, right? The first trailer was
this is the second trailer. The first trailer was revealed
at the Game Awards.
What does Polygon say? The first trailer?
Right, that's what I was confused by. I'm like, this was at
Game
the Game
Awards. Yeah.
So yeah, we got a new trailer in a release window of 2026. It debuts the new protagonist, Miyamoto Musashi.
Which my friend absolutely popped for. Gage knows Yu-Gi-Oh! He was very big into Chinese and Japanese cinema. And there's a lot of movies from directors he likes that have made movies about Miyamoto Musashi. He's a real life samurai. So he was like, wait, what the fuck? They're doing an Onimusha game about a real life samurai? Hold on now.
That's pretty cool.
And like, okay, that's cool.
Hell yeah. This looks cool.
People are going to hate on Yasuke, but not Miyamoto.
And we finally got confirmation of Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater release date, which is August 28th. This is, of course, the remake of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater.
Biggest news that came out of this, well, sort of. Last week, it was revealed that Snake vs. Monkey is going to be in the game, which it's cool to see that in trailer form now, because you can actually see what it looks like here. But also other modes are going to make it in there with them splashing that in there. Interestingly enough, though, that mode is only coming to PlayStation and PC. Xbox is getting a different mode.
Huh.
But they didn't say what it was, though.
Not a fan of that. It seems so like in today's age of like everything being crossplay and everything, stuff like that seems so archaic and so like Xbox 360 generation. I don't know. It could just be me.
No, that's fair. I agree.
I don't think for licensing reasons, maybe.
Oh.
They can have Ape Escape on another platform. That's got to be it.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah.
But I mean, I guess if it's going to Steam, then it's already on another platform. So I don't, there was a case to be made about like that being an archaic practice.
It's true.
But also, nobody cared about Snake vs. Monkey when this game came out.
It is a bonus mode. You can only get so mad.
Well, you know, we understand it. It's kind of dumb, you know, to not have it everywhere.
All right. We got a new trailer for Hell Is Us, and it will be released on September 4th. It'll be tackling a bleak topic, the demons known as humankind. We're all evil. Okay. I don't know how to feel about this.
No, this is the third trailer we got from this, and that second one was, I think, really good. But this one, something about this one made it seem, oh, maybe this is a lot more of like a generic game that I made it out to me. Maybe this is not going to be as good as I am hoping it will.
Right.
Especially when you get phrases like that. The demons known as humankind. Timely. Like, okay, I see.
And then we go back to Christian's favorite Souls-like. No, I'm just kidding. That was a joke. Lies of P Overture, which is a prequel to Lies of P, which was announced for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. You don't want to go back to the P's, Christian?
The way you stopped talking made it seem like you had something else to say at the end of that phrase.
No, that was
I mean, it certainly visually looks good, but I mean, when you say my favorite Souls-like, I'm agreeing in that it's definitely the least worst one. But I'm also like I'm not a hater of Lies of P. I think it's actually quite good, even. Especially if like you're missing like that Bloodborne type of gameplay. That's what it's going for, a bit more Sekiro in a way. But my problems with Lies of P is that they introduced too many systems to the Souls combat in a way that made it seem like it's in between two different things, and I don't think it works in the later game of Lies of P. You can see some of that in the trailer where like it looks way more actiony, like it looks almost like Final Fantasy-esque with P doing some insane moves. But like if you're someone who was really into P's combat, which is most people, I'm the outlier, then yeah, I'm sure you'd be super stoked for this. Snow biome looks good.
Does look good. Then we got an announcement of Dreams of Another, which is from Pixel Junk, and it is a game that turns third person. Wait, the third person? Is this wait, what? It turns
the third person shooter.
Oh, sorry. I read that as like this was a third person shooter that never mind. Sorry. Yeah, I get it now. It turns the third-person shooter on its head to build rather than destroy. The art style of this game is interesting to me. I don't know. The gameplay doesn't seem like it's going to be that deep.
I feel like they have a very singular message about the game that I understand from the trailer alone. I don't need to pursue it further.
Yeah.
There we go. Then we got what everyone's been waiting for. No, I'm just kidding. Days Gone. Okay. Days Gone Remastered, which is coming to PlayStation 5 on April 25th. Maybe we're going to let Sony Bend work on a sequel now, since their game was canceled.
That guy's a freak.
They should have, but I think the window of opportunity has passed.
Hey man, they got who's making a Game of Thrones game right now? Warner Brothers.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Can let oh, sorry.
No, you're fine.
My fault.
You're good.
The only reason I pop for this is because I included this on my backlog list of games that I want to get to this year, just for the sake of doing it. You know, I already played Metal Gear Survive. I can play through Days Gone. And I was like, oh, cool. They got enhancements? Sure, why not? Whatever. Let's see what this is about.
You played Metal Gear Survive? Days Gone is going to feel like the Renaissance to that.
I was going to say, Gage, you enjoyed Days Gone, right?
I enjoyed Days Gone, full stop, period. I'm just making a joke at the... I think I played maybe 45 minutes of Metal Gear Survive, and I was like, this is quite enough. Yeah. This is quite enough for me. No, Days Gone is great. I stand by my main prediction is that when you're in the second act of that game, you're gonna be like, oh, I'm enjoying this a lot more than I thought I would. And the third act's lukewarm, but whatever. It's still worth playing. It's a very good game. Also, incredible bike physics in that game. Incredible bike physics.
Incredible.
Incredible.
We got DLC coming to Stellar Blade on PlayStation 5 and PC in June called Stellar Blade and Goddess of Victory. Nikki DLC.
Nikkei, please.
Nikkei, sorry. My apologies.
I'm going to say the same thing I told my friends on stream, which is, man, I still kind of want to try out the full Stellar Blade game for myself, but that game never goes on sale, and I'm not paying $70 for a Gunner game.
Incredible. Then we got to look at an announcement trailer for Blueprints, a genre-bending, atmospheric, architectural adventure, that's a mouthful, where you explore an ever-changing manner of 45 shifting rooms.
Okay, well, we need to have a talk with whoever is writing this for Polygon because it is definitely not the announcement trailer. We've gotten multiple of these trailers, and they also just had the, what is the indie Day of the Devs? We just had a Day of the Devs where they did a deep dive on Blueprints for several minutes. So, no, not the debut trailer. But legit, this is a game for me. It's a roguelite about escaping a mansion. And the mansion, you attach rooms to it looks very cool.
Oh yeah.
Gage.
And then we get to the announcement of Abiotic Factor, which is in early access on PC right now, coming to console this summer.
I hope this game blows up on console. I feel like it won't. It probably won't. For the same reason that it took me a while to wear you guys down. People are gonna. I think people are gonna look at this and be like another survival game. But there's always the chance. I hope that this pops off and does huge numbers. That would be great for them.
Remember, the Armor Reforger did not pop off the way it has until it came to console just recently.
Fair.
Right.
If the right kind of people on socials get this, going with cool clips, this could be super huge as well.
That's all we can pray for.
And well deserved, man. They put out updates constantly.
Yeah. Absolutely.
They're doing a lot of things right.
Very cool. All right. And then we turn the tides to Tides of Annihilation from Polygon again. When the streets of London are engulfed by an outworld invasion, the only survivor, Gwendolyn, discovers a mysterious power to command the legendary Knights of the Round Table. Okay, that's incredible description there. They took straight from the YouTube video. Yeah, this is another fantasy game. I don't know.
I'm gonna unveil the curtain here a little bit.
Okay.
This is a very mean thing to say, and something that I don't really believe in all the time. But it's funny rhetoric to say when you get a lot of trailers like this. This was the third time during the State of Play I said, "Man, games kind of suck, huh?"
Yeah, this one, I agree.
I said that as a joke, but what I really mean by that is we're getting a lot of very similar third-person fantasy character action games that all kind of look extremely generic, and they with generic names. They all kind of bleed together, and I don't think any one in specific is particularly exciting. There are, of course, the cool ones and Lustful aside, they've been working on that for so many years. Phantom Blade Zero is hot, and I'm sure some of these might even be good too. But when you get them back to back in states of within the same state of play, I kind of almost mute them a little bit.
Right.
Yeah. Agreed. When I see them now, I'm always reminded of Babylon's Fall. They just all give me that vibe. It's oh great, another one of these. But some of, like you said, some of them do stand out. but they're just in that genre that makes it feel like, oh boy,
Yeah, another one of these.
It's like they have a little bit more variety, but it's like the survival horror in space, but so at least a little bit more exciting most of the time.
That one Game Awards, we got like 4 of those.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and they were almost back to back too.
They were, yeah. All right, let's annihilate that one and go to Metal Eden, which was revealed, and it appears to be. Maybe it wasn't revealed because Polygon's not on a good streak here. It looks like a fast-paced science fiction first-person shooter. Again, very similar to other science fiction shooters. Nothing got me too excited about this.
The only things that got me excited here, I think, was the music was really good, and then obviously graphically impressive. Like, I think that's kind of what we expect out of some of these games now. But I think, I don't know, taking some stuff from what worked from Titanfall and putting that in here always like at least perks my ears up. But I agree with you. Like, in the large scheme of things, I'm like, okay, this looks like a known quantity, but it could be okay.
It kind of gives me a little bit of Doom too, like in some.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
For me, I thought Doom meets like Ghost Runner.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Which, like, on paper, that sounds good.
That's true. All right, let's move to the last 2 announcements here, which are arguably the largest announcements. Mind's Eye gets a new trailer where we got gameplay, I believe for the first time ever, and this is of course from Leslie Benzies studio, Build a Rocket Ship or some shit. I forget the name exactly, but
Build a Robot Boy or Build a Spaceship Boy?
Build a Rocket Boy. Build a Rocket
Boy.
Yeah.
Build a rocket ship or some shit.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was some shit. But no, it's interesting because like watching some of this footage, I'm like, this almost looks like a fucking GTA like ripoff.
It looks, you know what vibes I got from it, which is unfortunate because the premise of this game, I was intrigued by what they could do maybe. But I was watching this, I was like, this looks like Saints Row quality. Like it does not, like it jumped out to me as kind of like everything looks kind of plasticky. The models look a little bit rough around the edges. Like it kind of has that. We're pretending to be like 2 kids in a trench coat pretending to be a AAA game kind of thing.
I think where I was thinking is like this is like it looks to me like a Rockstar game from like the Xbox 360 era. Like GTA 5. Like this looks like GTA 5.
When I was on stream with my friends, I said this looks like Cyberpunk from Temu. And then my buddy who was just like reading chat and looking at the AI summaries just to laugh at said, somebody said, I can't believe we got GTA 7 before GTA 6. And that made me giggle.
Incredible.
This is not for me. This game was not for me. I was like, no. Yeah, I'm good.
Especially for the hype that this game was getting with Leslie Benzies being involved and such. But we'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. And then the last announcement here, which is Housemarque announcing their brand new game called Saros. I don't know. With a brand new cinematic trailer and noted that the gameplay trailer will come later this year. Seems like they're going back to their roguelike situation like Returnal.
Beginnings, yeah.
They've been talking about this game for years before announcing it, saying like it is like the next iteration of narrative. Like they're making a narrative jump. Like their gameplay is always solid, but Returnal was like their first time trying to do like a narrative story. I thought it was really good, especially for a first attempt. So they learned a lot, and they're like doing like the next big jump in regards to storytelling there. You can definitely kind of feel that a little bit with like the way the CGI trailer kind of starts. But for me, this is where I made that comparison. Like when they announced Returnal, you got the CGI trailer in the beginning, and then they showed bits of gameplay. For me, I was like, I'm excited because it's a Housemarque product. But this trailer told me nothing other than like It's very similar in terms of aesthetics to Returnal, and Rahul Kohli's in it. And those two things are like not really enough to really get me going in a 40-minute state of play that should have been, in my opinion, a bit better, a bit tighter. It almost felt like if this is the end, I was a little bit disappointed. So especially when you have things like Death Stranding 2 that you're partnered with. I really wish DS2 was in this state of play. In a 40-minute state of play, I feel like it should have been here. Again, not a knock against Housemarque's announcement, but yeah, I was a little bit less than impressed, even though I'm excited for the game. And also, for a good minute, I was like, are they doing like a cinematic for a new Helldivers update? That's crazy. Because it looked like Helldivers.
It did, yes. I thought the same fucking thing. Yeah. Interesting. I wonder if they're saving Death Stranding 2 for like a June event, E3 replacement, or May/June, whatever you want to, somewhere in there.
Right. I mean, that game is coming this year. I would just have loved to have a release date already for it, just so we have an idea of what the next couple of months looks like for them.
Sure.
And like, if I know you have it in the show, but I'll just say it now. They have a South by Southwest panel, I think, next month.
Yep.
And like, if that is announced there, I'm like, cool, I guess. But like, then what is the state of play for then? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah. And
because June feels like way too late for a release date announcement.
That's true. And yeah, you're referring to Hideo Kojima taking the stage at South by Southwest on Sunday, March 9th for a special Death Stranding 2 panel. So, yeah.
Is that confirmed that the game's coming out this year?
Yeah.
So.
They had the date officially like placed on there, and then Kojima at TGS last year talked like, yeah, we already know internally like when the date is, and it is next year, but because of other reasons, we just can't say it yet. So people were saying that might have something to do with GTA 6's release date that also isn't announced.
Right.
There was also, just to insert this as well, there was also rumors before the show that Bungie's Gummy Bears game was going to be announced at the State of Play. Obviously didn't get announced. Some people were speculating maybe they announced this at Nintendo's event, since it's a Switch game and it's geared more towards the younger crowd. That'd be kind of crazy that they would do that.
Is that true?
I believe so. Right? I don't know. I think.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But what little interest I had is now kind of lessened, maybe.
We'll see. I've always enjoyed Bungie's gameplay. I may not always agree with some of their decisions and such, but the gameplay, not granted, this game has passed hands multiple times now because it's an entirely different group working on it now, but I don't know. Very interesting. All right, what was your guys's, let's just say what our favorite announcement was. It wasn't the best show, wasn't complete dumpster fire, maybe somewhere in there in the middle, maybe on the lesser side. But what was your favorite thing from this show?
Mine's easy, so I'll just say it is Abiotic Factor getting a console port. It's exciting to me. I like Christian said earlier, the chance of this popping off of the right influencers playing it and the snowball effect of social media. Even though it doesn't affect me personally, I'm not going to run and pick it up on PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, sorry. Just the idea that maybe this could get some more eyeballs on this game and put some more money into the pocket of good indie developers that understand game design. That's not a bad thing in any universe, especially ours, which is the darkest timeline, apparently. So I'm excited for that.
Every day I wake up and I just see like the worst videos coming from the White House. Somehow worse than the day before. And today was no better. So yeah, I agree. Darkest timeline for sure.
Oh no, I haven't even seen the stuff from today yet. Oh fuck.
Have you not?
No, I seriously haven't. I was too busy at work, and then yeah.
You would love it. You would love it.
God. Anyways,
they do a press conference and in the Oval Office, and it's not President Trump, it's Elon. Elon's the one answering all the questions and talking.
Incredible.
And his kid picks his nose and wipes it on the Resolute desk.
King Elon.
And he's wearing his dark MAGA hat. Dark Gothic MAGA.
Gothic MAGA.
Jesus. Bro, is yours Sonic Racing?
Yes, it is. I like Sonic Racing. The other one, besides that, without being super predictable here, Shinobi Art of the Vengeance looked pretty cool too. But yeah, Sonic Team Racing was my favorite for sure.
Hell yeah.
Mine should have been Saros. Again, I don't think that trailer did enough for me. So it is 100% Shinobi Art of Vengeance, which is crazy. In a 40-minute February PlayStation State of Play, it's Shinobi Art of Vengeance. But only that game looks really good.
It does. Mine is Split Fiction just because of Hazelight's trajectory. I feel like they've been on a constant upwards trajectory their last several games, so very excited to actually get my hands on it, play it.
Hell yeah.
Hopefully actually finish it, unlike It Takes Two. I never finished that game because I never had someone to finish it, with me, even though I've had numerous comments about.
Go ahead, spit it out. Spit it out.
Gage
Say
Dumpster.
Can I say something about that game?
Please.
Yes.
I think it's amazing. It's also kind of long. It's also a little long.
It is.
True.
Kind of
not only in terms of like spreadsheet length, but also pacing. Like it does kind of drag a little bit in the second act. I don't think I don't think I got out of the end of the second act, to be honest.
That is our topic of the show. Let's move into PXN news of the week. Kirik is in the chat saying, I took your guys' advice and tried Balatro. That's right. Oh, he called it Boratro. That's right. Boring, he says. Wow.
He's on a roll today.
Yeah.
This guy likes nothing, apparently.
Shit.
Why don't you go spend money on controllers you don't need, huh?
You know what?
Dude, this is dark gothic Kirik. He is not in the mood to make friends with anyone.
I'm not just Kirik.
I'm
dark gothic Kirik.
Kirik, more on that when we get into what you got for me.
Oh, I can't wait.
All right, news of the week. What is happening at Warner Brothers Games? Bloomberg report has come out here, basically detailing everything that's happening with Warner Brothers Games right now. Jason Schreier, of course, with the article. Essentially, for now, Warner Brothers says that it will scale back the number of games it makes, focusing on just a few franchises. Essentially, the gaming business lost $200 million in a write-down in May on a painful flop of Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League, followed a few months later by a $100 million write-down due to the failures of Harry Potter, Quidditch Champions, and the fighting game Multiverses, which, of course, we reported last week will be shutting down soon. So, little turmoil there. He does also outline what the future looks like right now for Warner Brothers Studios. Warner Brothers Games Montreal, of course, who made Gotham Knights, were reportedly helping on other projects within WB, including Wonder Woman, while they were also pitching around ideas. And apparently, after months of waffling, Bell suggested, Bell being Ben Bell, president of production there, vice president of production, said that they should work instead on a game that stars a more recognizable character like the Joker or the Flash. So they decided to go with the superhero speedster, the Flash. But in 2023, Warner Brothers released Flash, a lavish movie starring Ezra Miller, which bombed at the box office. The video game has since been scrapped. Fuck you. I love The Flash. You fucking ruined it with that movie. That movie's shit. Anyways, I would have loved the Flash game. That would have been cool. That would have been bomb. Over the past 2 years, most of Montreal's leadership has resigned, not just because of the lack of new games, but also due to frustration with their corporate bosses, according to people familiar with the events. And now the Montreal studio is helping out with other projects while working on a pitch for a new game based on Game of Thrones. And then we move down the line to Avalanche Software, which of course made Hogwarts Legacy, which sold 34 million copies. They're working on new content for Hogwarts Legacy as well as a sequel to the game. Rocksteady, of course, another big studio for WB at one time, is obviously hurting after the release of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. But now Rocksteady is looking to return to Batman for a single-player game. But according to people familiar with the timeline, the new project is still years away from landing. That is our look at WB. How are we feeling on this?
It is awesome how much executives don't know what people want. At any company.
Yeah.
At any company. What was the joke someone made this weekend? Like, can you believe that EA didn't know? Like, they didn't know why people thought Bad Company 2 was good? What do you mean you don't know why?
Yeah. John Riccitiello, one of the worst CEO in the world, according to one of the worst CEOs in the world. Bobby Kotick.
Right. Very disappointing how much turmoil is going down at WB. Like,
yeah.
They shouldn't, with the like insane IP they have and like the talent they've had at their studios for X amount of years. Granted, I know it's not the same Rocksteady that it was during the Arkhamverse, but like you still got talent there. Leverage that to make something cool, and then they do literally anything but.
I think it's so weird that they decided not to do the Flash game, so they say, because the movie bombed, which I think is silly. They could still make a good game and like turn things around on that IP. But if you're using that same argument, like Game of Thrones isn't really in a good place to my knowledge right now, like with how Game of Thrones season 7 or 8, I don't know how that came together at the end. And the most recent show that came out, I don't think people like that much either. Right. But they're going to make the game. They're going to drop the other ideas that they have to make a Game of Thrones game, when you could make the same argument that Game of Thrones isn't like, nobody's clamoring for, I could be wrong, but nobody's like clamoring for Game of Thrones stuff right now. But they're still going to make the game because the execs think that that's what people want, when I don't think that's the case. I don't know if that's going to put them back on track.
I could be wrong. I'm just curious, for the sake of exploring this. Isn't it like a Chinese game company that's making the Game of Thrones game? Or is it Warner Brothers?
Well, no. Warner Brothers Montreal is also... that might be true what you're saying, but Warner Brothers Montreal is also working on early goings of a Game of Thrones game, because that's what they pivoted to after originally pitching the Flash game.
Okay, gotcha. All right.
And Wonder Woman is somewhere, hopefully, in all of that.
Wait, did I skip that? Maybe I skipped Monolith. Yeah, I missed Monolith. Sorry. Monolith, yes, thank you, Ro. Wonder Woman's fate is kind of up in the air at the moment, according to people familiar with the business, because of challenges following the changes in Monolith's leadership and issues surrounding the game's technology. It seemed like they were trying to fit a Wonder Woman game into using the Nemesis system, and it wasn't really working, and then they basically pivoted it for it to be more of a traditional action-adventure game. So I don't know how that game's going to come together.
Sounds like a really corporate way to make a video game is, let's take this system and feature and design the rest of the art around it. Oh, right. It's not working for you? That's crazy.
Yeah.
And they also killed Diana from their in-universe
Oh yeah.
Wonder Woman, whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There was it was a different company, but I think it's appropriate for this discussion that EA recently said that Veilguard, Dragon Age Veilguard, failed because it wasn't a live service game, and I
Yeah,
and I
that's
think
crazy.
these Warner Brothers are thinking the same way. Where even though the proof is there that like live service isn't like a obvious, like it doesn't always work out. Like they have a game that was live service and it didn't work out, and there's so many other games from other companies that are live service and don't work out. So I know not to say that a single player Arkham game from Rocksteady would have been successful, but I have a very strong notion that it would have been more successful than Suicide Squad, which didn't seem like a game that the team was super passionate about because of how it turned out. Or else it would have been a little bit better if they were passionate about it.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Like, when you take away the creative liberties of the developers, and like, if they're not passionate about something, it's going to be hard for them to like get excited to come to work and make something cool. Like, I don't know. Natalie, I missed this. Elon's son also told Trump to shush. I didn't see that.
Shush
That's
his mouth.
funny.
Mm-hmm.
All right. That is our news item of the week. Let's jump into the quick bites here. More layoffs coming from PlayStation software department here. This comes from Ryusuke from Twitter, I think. I don't know if this is Twitter or not. Whatever. He says, most of my team was just laid off from PlayStation. It was a dream to get to work with Sony on the platform I'd grown up playing since the PS1 and contribute to the PS5 Portal, PSVR 2, PS App, and future consoles. If you know anyone who needs an engineer experienced native console UI, feel free to reach out. So more layoffs. Terrible news. And on the back of that, more terrible news, which is Crytek has also announced layoffs and announced that Crysis 4 is officially on hold late 2024 and had worked to shift staff over to Hunt, reducing costs and operating expenses in the process, but the layoffs became inevitable, affecting 15% of its workforce. I feel like Crytek's been in financial problem and ruins ever since Rise came out on Xbox One. Like we've been hearing about their financial situation not being great. And that sucks because I actually really enjoyed Rise. A lot of people hated on it for its simplicity, but I don't know. There was something about it. I liked the movie aesthetic that it kind of gave to it.
You're the only person I know who apparently played that game.
Really? That's fair.
You're talking about Rise, Son of Rome?
Yeah. I think it was very underrated. I completed it. It was a good game.
You completed it.
I did. We also got word that GTA 6 is still coming in fall of 2025, according to Take-Two's earnings call from their CEO. I don't believe him.
But they feel really good about it.
Yeah. He did say, look, there's always a risk of slippage, and I think as soon as you say word like absolutely, you jinx things. So there's still room there.
You've got that bet.
I do. All about that bet. About that bet. About that bet. Reference there, the song. Yeah. Anyways. Resistance 4 was apparently pitched by Insomniac to PlayStation, but it was turned down, according to Insider Gaming. Actually, this is from Insider Gaming from a new interview with Kinda Funny Games, where Ted Price was asked about a favorite game of his that was pitched that never got greenlit. And he said, "Yeah, I'll share one. Resistance 4. Damn it. He said, we did pitch that one, and it was a wonderful concept, and it just, in terms of timing and market opportunity, didn't work out. But it was the result of a lot of Insomniac team members being passionate about extending the story further, because I do believe that Resistance has set up a really cool alternate history base where anything can happen with the Chimera and where they go and what their origins are. This would have been cool. Give us a FPS PlayStation game. We don't have many of those.
No, we need to keep rushing them to make
the next Spider-Man.
Yeah, all the Marvel games.
We're gonna heal the world, Dan.
Heal the world. All right. Our ongoing saga of Xbox Series S news here. Yet another developer has chimed in on the Xbox Series S, and this is coming from the Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 developers that states the Xbox Series S helped them optimize the game for other platforms? Question mark. So like I feel like every month like we have back and forth stories, like one developer says that it sucks, and then one developer says that it's awesome for optimization, and then I feel like somewhere in the middle is maybe the, or maybe people have different experiences.
Exactly, right? Both can be true. I'm leaning towards.
Yeah. Very interesting. And then of course we already talked about that one. The last quick bite. The new. Wait, did I put this in? I don't think I've seen this. Did you put?
Yeah, I put it in because you didn't put it in.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah,
this.
You missed it. Yeah, this is big.
Remedy has announced that Alan Wake 2 sales have exceeded 2 million units, and the game started to accrue royalties. Hell yes, we love to see that. Max Payne 1 and 2 remake and FPC Firebreak are both in full, I guess the 1 and 2 remake are one game, both in full production, and Control 2 is entering full production this month. Huge. Remedy's never made a bad game, guys. Never made a bad game.
Until now, with FPC Firebreak.
Yeah, hey, you don't know.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
But he might be onto something.
All right. Being on to something, how about let's get on to our fantasy draft check-in. And we do have an update here, and the update is that Gage Dempster has dropped Football Manager 2025, and that is because for the first time ever in the history of this franchise, Football Manager 25 has been canceled. And for the first time ever on Fantasy Critic, a team has drafted this game 2 years in a row, and it was canceled.
Why did you draft it again, knowing what last year's was and how it turned out?
Because it didn't seem possible that it would get canceled again. What do you mean? Last year I picked it up in a last-ditch effort to try and get some points on the board at Dan's suggestion.
It's true.
And then it got delayed, which was unthinkable for an annual game to get delayed. And then here we are, and it's been canceled.
It was awesome waking up to that and sending that in the chat.
Incredible. All right.
That's not the only update. Avowed previews went up this week.
That's true.
Most are positive on it. There's some outliers. Oh, I'm sorry, not Avowed. Excuse me. South of Midnight.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
South of Midnight previews were this week, and most are positive on it. Some are less hot on it. Seems like the only shared criticism is that they feel like the combat of South of Midnight feels like kind of generic.
Yeah. Which I think we've actually talked about that for a while now, that people have been kind of thinking that. So not too much of a surprise. Hopefully the rest of the parts of the game make up for it if it is a bit more generic. I don't think that Civ 7 had review scores last week. I don't think.
It did.
It did. Okay, never mind. It did have it. So we don't have any points updates. It is still the same, but I will say it anyways for Gage's pleasure. Gilbo Biggins team, Okie Dokie Inc. is in first place with 30 points, 2 games released. In second place is ISO Christian's team, Rose Devil, and sitting at 16 points from 1 game. Dan is in third.
You made that mess. You did, King.
Ro. Look at Ro's face.
What on earth?
Incredible. Yes. Yeah. Again, Ro, you have to play with us on game night on Saturday night sometime. Please.
To get these references.
Yes.
You get the trauma? Yeah.
Yeah. In third place, Dan is sitting at 12 points. Halo is Unreal's team, of course. 12 points. And Ro is in last with 0. But of course, he hasn't had any games released yet. So plenty of time. Although, Ro, I will say, your team's looking a little bare compared to the rest of us here.
It's February.
Exactly.
It is February.
True.
10 more months.
To be fair.
That's true. We'll see what happens.
Hopefully there's enough games that come out this year for me to fill those slots.
Oh, there's still plenty. Yeah, you got plenty.
Yeah, you got Tides of Annihilation.
True. Souls Aside.
Assassin's
Digimon
Creed?
Story.
All right. That is our fantasy draft check-in. Just a quick check-in today. And that moves us into what you got for me. What you got for me, Dan. We played a little Battlefield 4, as Christian alluded to. Had fun with the lads on that. Although it does make me clamor for a new modernized version. So I'm excited to see what they do with the next iteration. I also went back and continued more Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, completing both the Himalayas and the Shanghai mission. And can I just say, the more I play of this, sorry, Christian, I had to do it. The more I play of this game, the more this game rises on my Game of the Year list last year that we've already finalized and can't really go up anymore. But I really I'm very much vibing with these missions ever since the Egypt mission. Like, I've been on a streak of loving this game. I really do love this game, and I'm not even an Indiana Jones fan. So pretty good stuff from there. But what I will say is our game of the year for last year was officially Balatro. So I was like, all right, I'll fucking download this fucking stupid little game on my phone and I'll play it. So I did that, and I was sitting waiting for my oil change in my car, which it always takes fucking over an hour because I take it to the dealership because they give me free oil changes for the life of my car for buying my car from them. So I was
the trade-off there, huh?
Yes, exactly. So I was sitting there for like an hour and a half playing Balatro, and my God, we made the correct decision for Game of the Year last year because this game is fucking awesome. I love it. And as I told you guys before, I loved playing card games when I was in my in-between classes during my college years, like more specifically Hearthstone. I loved Hearthstone back then. And this is awesome as well. Obviously not the same game, but like very much the same like addiction to this that I had to Hearthstone. It's just so much fun. You just want to do one more run, and you're like, fuck. And here I am. I hate roguelikes, right? But yet I'm playing another one. So I don't think I hate roguelikes, guys. It's so much fun. Stacking all the bonuses, seeing it all fucking stack up at the end when you're going through each hand. Oh, it's so good.
Don't forget, Dan, both the order of your jokers and the order of the way your cards are played matters in terms of scoring. Sometimes it's better to put your best scoring card at the right instead of the very first one, because if your card has like a times multiplayer, you want that to be scored last and not first. You can drag them over. Same thing with your jokers. You want those in order.
What?
They happen.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yep.
The tutorial didn't tell me that. Fuck, that changes everything. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well,
I went through the Christian dropped the same bomb on me when roughly my same period into Balatro as well. So it's like if you have a card that's like every if you have a joker, sorry, that's like say every heart gives you +3 mult.
Yeah.
And then you've also got a joker that says the first played face card gives you ×2.
Yeah.
You can kind of redrag it so that if you're playing a flush, you have all your number cards first, your thing plays last. Yeah.
Oh.
And that's
and you would also want that king or whatever that face card to be played last, because then obviously, then after everything is scored, you get that ×2 molt happens last.
Damn, that changes everything. Hell yeah. Thank you for that insight. All right.
Not so boring now, Kirik, huh?
No, yeah, fuck you, Kirik. Just kidding, Kirik.
Dude. It's a good ass game, dude.
It's super. Sorry.
What's he saying in the chat?
I just saw his comment from before. I can't stand control, more like no troll. What?
Oh, I see. Controlling the game.
Yeah. That game's great.
I thought you meant like controlling Balatro. I was like, what does that mean? Control is awesome.
Yeah.
Can't stand it. It's not like he doesn't like. He can't stand it.
That's crazy.
Not stand it.
That's intense. I respect
One
it.
of Remedy's finest.
Yeah.
Lore wise, setting wise, story wise.
Insane.
Maybe even like gameplay wise. It's really good.
Ro, are you playing Balatro? Come on.
I'm not playing Balatro.
Okay.
It sounds like a game that I should download though. It's easy.
It's on
It's not
Switch.
easy, but like I mean, I have just playing on my phone. Is like accessible is what I mean.
True.
Yeah.
And it's actually cheaper on your phone too.
Is it?
Yeah.
By $2.
Yep.
$2.
I could use those $2. Okay. I'm not playing anything. No, you guessed it. I have not. But I do want the boys to, because so I'll say something that I have done, which is I've been continuing to watch Severance. I'm caught up on Severance.
Let's go.
Watching it every Friday. Good TV. Good TV.
Very good TV.
Hell yeah.
But no games. No games.
Kirik says, oh, sorry.
What does Kirik say? No, this takes precedence.
He said, I will give Control another try. I think it might grow on me. All right.
I think I might.
Christian?
Elden Ring Night Rain code came in and got that ready for the network test. I also have to play it for work anyway, so kind of a win-win for me there. All I've done so far is like logged in and listened to the title screen. Very nice. There you go. Chilling. He's coasting now. I also played a bunch of Afterlove EP, but I don't think I can give thoughts on that until tomorrow. Embargo's tomorrow, but I did play it. So the only thing I can really talk about then is let me give it its pageantry that it deserves here. On backlog, I have a list of games, and the list is called 5-star only. These are the games that I give 5-star games to, obviously. I have 23 games in that list, and I'm about to add a 24th. Now, if you remember last week, I said that I had been playing Prey.
Oh, yeah.
And I had like 10 hours up until that point, and I had to play a bunch for work. So I put 20 hours into Prey in between Wednesday and the weekend. And dude, it is absolutely a masterpiece of a game. I can't believe that like I played the demo when it released, and I was like, this seems cool. I'll get to it. But then just like played 2017 was a kind of a stacked year. I looked at it, and strong competition. And yet still it feels like this game needed way more flowers than it got. I was looking at Game Awards nominations. Yes. I only received one for Best Action Game, which seems like, yeah, there's plenty of action in that game, but like that Prey is way more than that. That is like some of the peak design in terms of, I think, like quest writing, especially setting, but also like its sound design, any kind of design in that game, like the way you interact with things is really strong. Mick Gordon's score, they are firing on all kinds of cylinders. I'm writing something for work on it, and it like when I was getting to the ending, it like completely changed how I was thinking about the game. It is absolutely one of the best games of all time. It feels like underrated, even though it like got its critical flowers. And I am especially now mourning the fate of Arcane Austin, knowing that after this they wanted to do more immersive sim. We're forced into doing Redfall. Redfall doesn't do well, and so the execs say, okay, then your studio is done, when that is not what they wanted to do at all. They could have been doing more, and they had pitches for Prey too. So I'm extremely upset at the nature of the business, considering like, this game is fucking fantastic. I'm not doing a good job at saying why it's so good, but like that's all you really need to know is that's an amazing game. Play it if you haven't, 'cause, I didn't until this year, and I will be getting to Prey Moon Crash eventually at some point this year, hopefully, because I know that from what I've heard, for a lot of people, Moon Crash is even better than the original game, for different reasons. But I can't wait to get into that. What a stellar game.
I'm so happy to hear you say that. I love that game. People got so mad at me back in the day when I would defend the shit out of it, and Dan Stapleton's review came out, and I was so fucking mad at that bullshit that I that's one of the reasons why. Anyways, Dan Stapleton. But yes, I love that fucking video game. That video game is so fucking good, and I'm so happy.
Dude, the way it kind of blows my mind, not just like the level design, but I think for me, the side quests, like how those fit into the main narrative, and the way you can solve those in any which number of ways, and then the insane amount of ways those then impact the rest of the story is kind of mind-blowing design. Like, I don't know how you get around that. It's so fucking good. Kind of at a loss for words, like how impressive it is, and how like some of the foresight they have in that game. I read some stuff about like dialogue when you first meet the cook. There's a scene in the game where like you meet the chef of the game. I won't give the twist there, but like if you save scum and do the stuff he asks you to do before he does it or tells you to do them, you get like some special dialogue that like is kind of crazy. And I saw like a clip of it, and I was like, that the fucking the foresight for these devs to have stuff like that in the game is really cool. Talented fucking people, Arcane Austin, and again, I miss them. Yes. Even though I've only played so little of what they've done.
I've seen so many people like talk shit about like save scumming and like if that shouldn't even be a thing anymore. And I'm like, every time people say that and bring that up, I'm just like, no, that's like the instance you just brought up is fucking part of the reason that makes save scumming so cool. And like Fallout, for instance, you fucking save scum and then you do just some shit, batshit crazy shit just to see what happens. Yep. And that's part of the fucking charm of it. Like
it's an integral like component to video games, and like this is an interactive medium, so interact with it in the way it's silly. I will say on just real quick on the topic of the side quests of Prey, I remember, I could be way off base here, but I remember as I was playing it, there was a point that I was so impressed where I was like, I feel like the side quests in Prey feel as like immersive and atmospheric as like the main quests in the first BioShock game. I don't know if you kind of feel like what I'm going with that, where it's like the isolation, this kind of background horror tension that's going on. Like I don't know. That was one thing that stood out to me, where the side quests felt like so enthralling compared to like other main quests in other games.
And it's a game where like doing the side quest makes the main quest better. Not just because like you get like extra gear, because we know whatever, who gives a shit. But like some of the characters like come to like I don't know, support some of the main story stuff, and like they have their takes, and then like when stuff happens, they might call you and give you their take on it, or ask you to do something regarding the main quest that then is a brand new side quest now that opens up. On the thing of save scumming, I remember there there's a doctor. His name is Dr. Igwe, and you like meet him like in this like cargo bay that's like half open. And I had like gotten a checkpoint, so the game auto saved, and he's like trapped in this like cargo container that's like floating outside, and he's like, "Help me!" But of course, like in an ImSim, like it doesn't specifically tell you what to do. Like there sometimes not even like a waypoint, like where to go to do the next thing. So you kind of have to study your surroundings and figure out what to do. And I did something out of sequence on accident. Like I started doing like the opening for his container before, and he's like, "No, what are you doing? Like like it's gonna depressurize." And I killed him on accident. And so like there was lines about this, and then I got a call from January, and so I was like, "Fuck!" I loaded my last save. And I was like, okay, I clearly did something wrong, and I had to like float around and figure it out. I'm like, yeah, okay, I found the machine that like pulls the container in before I can hack the machine to like let him out. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Stuff like that happens all the time.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. Can I say one more thing?
Yeah.
Fucking awesome that the game is like, hey, if you do too many of these kinds of upgrades, then the computers in the game see you as a threat. And like now the turrets are no longer on your side.
Yep.
When I upgraded
gameplay balance.
Yeah. It's so good. And if you make too many of the thing to then upgrade your guy, there's like a system in the game where like a new side quest opens. Like, oh, there was a contingency where like they didn't want you to make so many of these, so now a new side quest happens to you to like renew the license to make them again, and you get like a bunch of lore about how these things are made in the first place that like completely changed the way I thought about the game. Fuck, man. Tragedy what happened to Arcane Austin. Can't believe it.
Absolutely. Yeah, if Breath of the Wild didn't come out in 2017, that probably would have been up there for me for Game of the Year.
Good game. A lot of good games out here.
Yes. Gage, what do you have for me, sir?
Well, I understand why Christian used his time to talk about those games, but I'll use my time to talk about some games that Christian and I played.
Oh, you're right.
Weekend.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So we had our regularly scheduled game night with the boys, and then as always, because we're just built differently, Christian and I are the last men standing.
Stupid.
And so we think to ourselves, how can we keep the vibes going? And so we go over to Steam and we take a little scroll, and I have uninstalled them, so I've forgotten the titles of the
I can give you both.
I know one of them is called Sworn. I'll talk about that one. We played what is essentially a Hades, if you wanted to be generous, because I don't think the game was total slop. I mean, we'll say copycat or heavily inspired by Hades, but it's a co-op game, and it was themed around, what was it, the Knights of Camelot, King Arthur, or something like that.
And I'm not afraid to say that was a total ripoff of a game.
It was okay. So then we can go there. Yeah, it was a bit of a clone. I mean, it wasn't using like Unreal assets, which I thought was nice. At least, like there was an art style, but yeah, it was pretty much a Hades clone with the exact same game design, and we played that.
But
for
it's
maybe
co-op.
But it's co-op, exactly, and I think there is some potential there. Like I think an indie studio that has an actual sort of dream and vision for like a good lore original story, there is room to explore that area. I think, because that gameplay loop lends itself really well to chatting with the boys and playing, together while doing all that. But this was not it. This was incredibly boring and felt a little bit lifeless. And then what was the other one that we played? I'm blanking on it.
You're thinking of Oh Dear, but we played that with the other friends.
That was the other one that we refunded? Okay, so then then we played a game called Oh Dear, which fun concept. But I mean, this is the type of game that could come pre-installed with, your Dell laptop. I mean, it's not anything crazy. It's not anything crazy. One player is the hunter. There is a bunch of NPC deers on the map, and then there's also the rest of the lobby are these like Wendigo deers, And you have to, during the daytime, which lasts, maybe 2-3 minutes, you have to sort of try and not get found by the player hunter by acting like an NPC. And then as soon as the timer runs out, nighttime comes, all the player deers turn into Wendigos, and you have to chase the hunter and kill him. It's a very simple game, and you guys liked it more than I did, I think. But at the same time, I'm like, this is shovelware.
$10.
It's
$10.
It's fun shovelware, but it's shovelware. Like, it's not. I don't know.
Crab game is shovelware. Oh dear,
Yes.
It's got some charm to it.
Agreed.
That's true, I guess.
Oh god. All right. Kirik said, finally we can agree on something. Severance is life. So he's with you, Ro, on Severance.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah.
Oh,
With everyone.
Yes. Yes. Ro, we're gonna drag you into a Saturday night game night one of these nights.
Drag.
We're gonna force you.
Yes.
All right. Well, I believe that's it then, lads. Thank you again to everyone joining us live on YouTube and Twitch, as well as podcast services everywhere, including Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, Spotify, and everywhere else you get your podcasts. Thank you, Ro. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Gage. I am Daniel, and this has been Podcast PXN, and we are out. Much love, and keep on gaming.
I forgot a game.
Oh, shit.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to the post show. What game?
Gage knows the game. I downloaded Art of Rally just for fun. It's cute. I like it. Fun game.
Oh, Art of Rally, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like this, almost top-down racing game. It's more simmy than arcade, but you get to like race around through like a fictional world.
From what I remember, is it not, with the way that the camera works, and actually with the way that the mechanics work too, of how it's a bit more challenging than you think, is it not kind of very similar to Slopes?
Nope. No.
Really?
In terms of turning? No, because it's a chase camera. It's not top. It's a chase camera.
Oh, it is a chase camera. Okay. I couldn't remember.
It's still always left and right. But it takes you through the history of rally racing.
Right.
So you get like unlock the group cars as you go. It's pretty fun. It's also kind of hard, but fun.